The twin suns were setting over the alien city of Zoria Prime. The air was thick with smoke, strange spices, and flying dust from hovercars passing overhead. People rushed through the open marketplace, shouting, selling, stealing, and surviving. Among them walked a young human boy, maybe 16. His clothes were torn, his shoes too small, and his face pale with hunger. His name was Liam. Liam didn't belong here. He was born on a mining colony far away. But after his mother died last year, he was left alone. He came to Zoria Prime with nothing but a metal box his mother gave him before she died. In that box, he found only one thing glowing. Golden bracelet. It didn't look expensive, but it was smooth, warm, and always pulsing with a faint blue light. His mother had said just one thing about it. Keep this with you, no matter what. Liam didn't know why, but he wore it every day. It made him feel safe, like someone was watching over him. He had no idea that someone truly was. Far above the city, in a tall glass tower, a rich and powerful alien sat looking out the window. His name was Zelter, a billionaire, a legend, a survivor of 1,000 battles. His body was covered in silver armor that moved like skin, and his eyes glowed like stars. He had everything: power, money, technology. But there was one thing he had lost, and never found again: love 200 years ago. Zelter had fallen in love with a human woman named Mira. She was kind, brave, and full of fire. He had given her a gift before they were separated forever: a glowing bracelet. Just like the one Liam now wore, Zelter believed Mira had died. He had searched for her, cried for her, even started wars looking for answers. But the trail had gone cold until today from his tower. Zelter looked down and saw something strange in the marketplace. A human boy, poor and alone, walking through the crowd. But it wasn't the boy that caught his eye. It was the bracelet on his wrist, that same glow, that same design. The bracelet he had given Mira long ago. Zelter stood up slowly, for the first time in 100 years. His hands were shaking. "No," he whispered. "It can't be." But his eyes didn't lie. He called for his sky car at once. His heart was beating faster than it had in decades, down in the street. Liam was trying to trade a few metal scraps for food. The alien vendor laughed at him and pushed him away. "Go back to Earth, human," he shouted. Liam turned and walked off, his stomach empty again. He didn't notice the sleek black sky car landing quietly behind him. He didn't see the tall figure step out. Armored and glowing, Zelter followed him at a distance, watching every move, the boy's walk, the way he held the bracelet, the sadness in his eyes. It all felt familiar. Liam stopped near a broken fountain and sat down. He took off the bracelet and stared at it. "Why did you give this to me, Mom?" he whispered. "What is this thing?" Before he could put it back on, a large shadow fell over him. He looked up and saw a strange alien with glowing eyes standing there. Zelter the alien didn't speak for a moment. He simply stared at the bracelet in Liam's hand. Then, in a low voice, he asked, "Where did you get that?" Liam stood up, scared. "I don't know," he said. "It was my mom's. She gave it to me before she died." Zelter stepped closer. His voice softened. "Your mother. What was her name?" Liam hesitated. Her name was Mira. The world froze for Zelter. Time seemed to stop. The name hit him like a lightning strike. He stepped back, his heart racing. His mind was full of questions. Could it really be her son? Could this poor human boy be his blood? He looked at Liam again, this time not with suspicion, but with something deeper: hope, wonder, fear. He said in a quiet voice, "Come with me." Liam frowned. "Why? Who are you?" "I'm someone who knew your mother," Zelter replied. A long time ago. Liam didn't trust him. But something in the alien's voice felt real. honest. And the bracelet his mom said it would protect him. Maybe this was what she meant. Liam nodded slowly. Okay. As they walked away together, the city lights flickered behind them. A camera drone followed their movement, watching from above, far away on another planet. Someone was watching that feed. They zoomed in on the bracelet, and their face turned pale. Found it? The voice whispered. After all these years, the sky car flew fast above the city lights of Zoria Prime. Liam sat quietly in the back seat. Staring at the glowing bracelet on his wrist, his heart was beating fast. He didn't know if he had made a mistake by trusting this strange alien named Zelter. But something deep inside told him this was important. That the answers he had been searching for were close now. Zelter sat in front, not speaking. His eyes stayed locked on the road ahead, but his mind was far away. He was remembering a face from long ago. A smile that had once made his world bright. He remembered Mira, the human woman he had loved 2 centuries ago. She had disappeared without a trace. And now, this boy, wearing her bracelet. Speaking her name, when they landed, Zelter led Liam into a quiet tower made of black glass. Inside, it was peaceful and silent. No noise, no people, just the soft hum of machines. They entered a room with a round table. And Zelter finally turned to face the boy. His voice was calm, but serious. Tell me everything you know about your mother. Liam took a deep breath. Her name was Mira. We lived on a small mining colony called Dustrock. She was kind, strong, and always told me to stay away from people in uniform. Zelter narrowed his eyes. Military? Liam nodded. She said some people were hunting us, but she never told me why. When she got sick, before she died, she gave me this bracelet. She said it would protect me and never to lose it. That's all I know. Zelter stared at the bracelet again. He couldn't believe it. The design, the glow. Everything was exactly the same, and yet, it had been lost for 200 years. It should have been dust, but here it was, perfect, untouched. And now it was on the wrist of this boy, Myra's son, without saying a word. Zelter walked to the wall and pressed a button. A small machine rose from the tabula DNA scanner. I need to check something, he said. Just place your hand here. Liam hesitated. What is that? It won't hurt, Zelter replied. I just want to see if you really are who I think you are. Liam slowly placed his hand on the scanner. It beeped softly, then scanned a thin blue light over his skin. The machine made a few sounds, then printed a small result on the screen. Zelter's breath caught in his chest. His eyes stared at the numbers. The DNA match was 99.9%. It was true. The boy was Myra's child, and that meant he was his child too. Zelter turned slowly, his voice low and shaking. Liam. I think I am your father. Liam blinked, confused. What? I loved your mother, Zelter said. She didn't tell me she was pregnant. Thought she had died, but she ran. She hid you to keep you safe. Liam stepped back. You're my dad? I believe so, Zelter said. I never knew. Until now, Liam didn't know what to say. A storm of emotions crashed inside him. Fear, confusion, anger, curiosity. Could this powerful alien really be his father? Why would his mother hide this? Why now? Suddenly, the room lights blinked red. A soft alarm sounded. Zelter turned to the screen and saw something terrifying. Someone had hacked the DNA scan feed. The match results had been broadcast to multiple alien networks. Now, others knew who Liam was, and they would come for him. We have to leave, Zelter said quickly. Now why? What's happening? Liam asked. They know about you, Zelter replied. And they will want that bracelet, or worse. They'll want you. They rushed to the sky car and took off again. But it was too late. A dark ship began following them. Stealth mode on, invisible to most scanners. But Zelter had seen this kind of ship before. It belonged to a group of alien hunters called the Blood Trace. They tracked valuable targets. And Liam had just become one in the car. Liam asked, "What's so special about this bracelet? Why do people want it?" Zeltor looked at him, his voice calm but firm. "That bracelet is not just a gift. It's a key to something very old, very powerful, and very dangerous, and only someone with the right blood can use it." "You mean?" "Me?" Liam asked. "Yes," Zelter said. "You, my son, are the last one who can unlock it." Liam looked down at the bracelet. It felt warm again, glowing a little brighter now, like it could feel the danger coming. He didn't want any of this. He just wanted food. A safe place, a normal life. But that life was gone now. Behind them, the dark ship got closer. Lights flashed, weapons charged. The chase had begun, and far away, on a prison planet. A woman with red eyes smiled as she watched the footage. "So, the boy is alive," she whispered, "and the game finally begins." The night sky over Zoria Prime was no longer calm. A silent chase had started between two ships, Zelter-S Skycar and a dark hunter craft from the Blood Trace. Liam sat in the passenger seat. Gripping the side rail, his heart pounded with fear. The city lights below blurred as they flew faster and faster through the sky. Zelter kept his eyes forward, his hands steady on the controls. "They're gaining," Liam said. Looking back at the black ship behind them, "What do they want?" "They want you," Zelter replied. "And they'll do anything to get you." The bracelet on Liam's wrist started to glow brighter, pulsing like a heartbeat. It felt warm again, almost like it was alive. Liam didn't understand it, but he knew this thing was more than just a gift. It was calling to something or someone. The hunter ship fired a shot. A beam of red light shot past them and hit a building nearby. Zelter swerved sharply, dodging it just in time. Sparks flew from the engines, and alarms started to beep inside the ship. "We can't outrun them forever," Zelter said. "Hold on." He turned the Skycar sharply down into a narrow service tunnel below the city. Lights flickered as they flew low over dirty pipelines and metal walls. The hunter ship followed, crashing through signs and lights. The tunnel shook as explosions echoed behind them. Finally, Zelter reached a hidden entrance near the old city ruins. A metal door opened just in time, and the Skycar disappeared inside. The door slammed shut behind them. The hunter ship scanned the area but couldn't find them. It flew away for now, inside the underground hideout. Liam climbed out, shaking. "Are we safe?" "For now," Zelter said, "but this is only the beginning." He walked over to a control panel and turned on some lights. The room filled with soft blue glow. Old machines lined the walls. Dusty and broken, but powerful. "This was my private research lab," Zelter explained. "Long ago, before I gave up everything to find Mira." Liam looked around. Still confused, why is that bracelet so important? What does it do? Zelter walked to a display table and placed a copy of the bracelet's design on it. "Long ago, there was a project," he said. "A secret experiment. Myra was part of it. The goal was to create a new kind of human. Someone who could link with ancient alien tech. The bracelet was one piece of that tech. It only responds to someone with her DNA. Liam touched the bracelet, so I'm part of that experiment." "Yes," Zelter nodded. "You're not just Mira's son. You're the last living connection to that project. That's why they're hunting you." Just then, an alert blinked on the screen. Zelter pressed it. A newsfeed appeared, showing Liam's face and the bracelet. Every bounty hunter and criminal in the outer worlds had just received the same message. Reward, 5 million credits. Dead or alive, Liam stared in shock. "They put a bounty on me." Zelter's face grew dark. Someone powerful is behind this, far away. On a cold moon base, a group of masked aliens sat around a table. One of them, an old, scarred alien named Krovan, watched the footage. "Find the boy," he growled. "Bring me the bracelet. And if Zeltor gets in the way, kill him, back in the hideout." Liam asked, "What do we do now?" "We find answers," Zeltor said. "We need to know who else was involved in the project and why Mira ran away." There are still people who know the truth. That night, they traveled in disguise to a distant part of the planet, to a slum city called Ravak's Hollow. There, hidden deep in the shadows, lived an old alien scientist named Dren. He once worked with Mira when Zeltor and Liam found him. The old alien was scared at first, but when he saw Liam's face, he froze. "You have her eyes," Dren whispered. "You're her boy. We need answers," Zeltor said. Now Dren told them the truth. Myra was part of Project Solos, a secret program to protect humanity by mixing alien DNA with human strength. The experiment worked, but when the leaders wanted to use the children as weapons, Mira escaped. She stole the bracelet and hid. She knew the project would destroy Liam's future. "She died protecting you," Dren said to Liam. "And now they'll stop at nothing to finish what they started." Liam sat silently, the weight of it all crushing him. His whole life had been a lie. He was more than just a poor boy. He was something rare, something dangerous, but he didn't feel strong. He felt lost, alone, afraid. He looked up at Zeltor. "Why me? I didn't ask for this." Zeltor placed a hand on his shoulder. "You didn't choose this path, Liam, but you were born for it. And now, the galaxy needs you." As they left the slums, more eyes began to follow them. Hunters, spies, and enemies. All waiting, all ready. The hunt had begun. The stars above Ravak's Hollow were hidden behind thick clouds and smoke. The city below was loud and broken, full of shadows and danger. Liam and Zeltor walked quietly through the old steel alleys, watching every corner. They had just learned the truth about Project Solos from the old alien scientist. But they still had more questions, and someone else was watching them now. From a tall building hidden behind a cracked window, a woman stared down at the street. Her eyes glowed faint red, her hair black like the void on her wrist. She wore a bracelet just like Liam's. She watched him with emotion she could not hide. Fear, sadness, and something deeper. "He's real," she whispered. After all these years, the woman's name was Isla. She was the twin sister of Myra, Liam's mother, long ago. She and Mira were both chosen for Project Solos. But while Myra escaped, Isla stayed behind, believing in the science, believing they were building peace instead. The project was taken by the wrong hands, turned into a weapon plan. She had been forced to disappear, hiding in the dark corners of the galaxy ever since. Now Liam had returned, the last living result of the experiment. And Isla knew the galaxy would come for him. Just like it came for Mira, she had to warn him, even if it meant revealing her secret. Meanwhile, in a small, dusty room inside a closed-down cargo station, Liam sat on a broken bench, staring at his bracelet. "It glows more now," he said, "like it's waking up." Zeltor nodded. "It reacts to danger, to fear, and two strong emotions. Is it alive?" Liam asked. "Not alive," Zeltor said, "but linked to something ancient. Something waiting to be activated." Liam looked at him. "You said it's a key. A key to what?" Before Zeltor could answer, the door opened slowly. A figure stepped inside, tall, silent, and calm. Liam stood up quickly, ready to run or fight. Zeltor raised his arm, aiming a small weapon. But the figure raised her hands in peace and stepped into the light. It was Isla. Liam's eyes widened. You look like my mom." Ayla smiled gently. "I should. She was my sister." Zelter narrowed his eyes. Ayla. I thought you were dead. I should be, she said. But I stayed hidden. They wanted me gone too. Liam stepped closer. Confused but curious. Why did you come now? Because you have little time, Allah said. And you deserve the truth. They sat together, and Allah began to tell them the full story. Project Selous had not just been about protecting humans. It was about merging human hearts with alien knowledge. The goal was peace, but the leaders of the project changed the mission. They wanted to build a soldier who could control an ancient weapon called the Star Core, a machine built thousands of years ago to end wars. But the Star Core required something special, a pure soul, and a bloodline that could carry both human and alien code. Mira had that bloodline, so did Ayla, and now Liam was the only one left. The bracelet was the connection to the Star Core, and when it fully activated, it would lead them to the hidden weapon. If they get to it first, Allah said, they'll control everything. No planet will be safe. Liam looked down, his voice shaky. Why didn't my mom tell me all this? She wanted to protect you, Allah said. She gave up everything to keep you out of their hands. Zeltor stood up. His fists clenched. We need to find the Star Core before they do. Yes, Allah agreed. But Liam must choose to activate it. No one else can, suddenly. Liam felt dizzy. His head hurt. His heart pounded. The bracelet on his arm began to glow bright blue. Burning hot, he fell to his knees, gasping for air. Ayla and Zelter rushed to him. Liam. Allah shouted, breathe. Stay with us. But Liam couldn't hear them anymore. His eyes glowed blue, and he saw Vision's giant machines floating in space. Planets burning, a girl holding the bracelet, crying. A voice whispering, you are the key. The vision ended with a flash. Liam collapsed into Zelter's arms. Shaking, he looked up, weak but awake. I saw it. I saw the Star Core. Zelter helped him stand. Where is it? Liam pointed to the stars outside the window. It's not on any planet. It's hidden in a drifting ship, alone. Forgotten? Ayla nodded slowly. Then that's where we go, as they prepared to leave. A signal was sent from a spy bot hiding nearby. A shadowy figure in another galaxy smiled coldly as the location data came in. They found it, he said. Send every hunter, every ship, and every weapon. I want that boy. The stars outside the ship looked peaceful, but inside the stolen cruiser, everything was tense. Liam sat near the window, watching the darkness of space as it passed. His heart still raced from the vision he had seen. The Star Core, the ancient machine, and the strange voice calling to him. He knew now that this journey was not just about survival. It was about something bigger. Fate. Zelter sat in the pilot seat, hands steady on the controls. Ayla stood beside him, checking the ship's systems. Her face was calm, but her eyes were sharp, ready. They were heading toward the hidden coordinates Liam had seen in his vision. A broken star system full of dead planets and lost ships. Somewhere out there, the Star Core was waiting. We're getting close, Zelter said. But they won't make it easy. They already know we're coming, Allah replied. They'll send hunters, maybe fleets. Liam looked at them both. What happens if they get to the Star Core first? Ayla turned slowly. Then the galaxy burns. They flew through a quiet asteroid field. Small rocks floating like frozen raindrops. For a moment, everything was still. Then the alarm beeped. Red lights flashed on the control panel. Zeltor's eyes narrowed. We've got company. 2 large hunter ships dropped out of hyperspace behind them, dark and sharp like flying knives. Blood Trace class, Zelter said. They're fast and armed. The ships locked on. And a message came through. Surrender the boy, or die. Zelter didn't reply. Instead, he pushed the thrusters forward, and the ships surged ahead. The hunter ships followed. Weapons charging in seconds, red lasers flew past them, shaking the ship with every near hit. "Liam, sit down and strap in," Isla said, pulling him toward a seat. "This is going to get rough." The cruiser twisted and turned, diving through asteroids. Sharp metal scraping against their hull, Liam held on tightly, the bracelet glowing hot on his wrist again. His mind felt strange, like something was waking up inside him. Another blast hit their left wing. Alarms screamed. "Shields down to 40%, Zelter shouted. "We can't take much more." Suddenly, Liam stood up, his eyes glowing blue. The bracelet flashing brighter than ever, he walked toward the back of the ship. Toward the defense control room. "What are you doing?" Isla shouted, chasing after him. "I don't know," Liam said. "But something inside me says I can help." He placed his hand on the weapon control panel, and the ship seemed to respond. The screen lit up, showing enemy positions, and the main cannon began to hum without touching a button. Liam focused, and the cannon fired, blasting one of the hunter ships out of the sky with a single hit. Ayla stared in shock. He connected to the ship. "The Starcore's power is already waking up in him," Zelter said. "It's starting." The second hunter ship dodged the blast and fired again. A bolt hit their engines, and the cruiser began to spin. Zelter fought the controls, trying to steady it. Liam stepped back, dizzy, his energy fading. The bracelet dimmed slightly. "We need to land," Zelter said. "There's a dead moon nearby. We'll hide there and make repairs." The ship entered the moon's orbit. Scraping through the thin atmosphere, they crashed into a dry valley full of ancient wrecks. Broken ships from long-forgotten wars, dust filled the air, but they were alive. Liam fell to his knees, breathing hard. Ala helped him up. "You did good," she said softly. "You saved us." "I didn't even know what I was doing," he replied. "It just happened." "Your connection to the Starcore is growing," Zelter said, "but it's dangerous. Using that power could destroy you if you're not ready." They repaired the ship as fast as they could, working through the night, but above them, more enemy ships entered the system, drawn by the signal of the bracelet. The chase was not over, it had only just begun. As they prepared to leave the moon, Liam stood outside for a moment, looking up at the stars. "Why me?" He asked aloud, "Why did this have to happen to me?" Ayla walked beside him. "Because you are the last piece of a promise your mother made to protect this galaxy. And now, that promise is in your hands." Just then, the scanner beeped again, but this time it showed something new. A large structure floating in deep space. Old and silent, the Starcore Zelter looked at the image. "We found it." Liam felt the bracelet pulse with energy. It was time to finish what had begun long ago. But far behind them, in the darkness of space, the leader of the Blood Trace smiled as his fleet moved closer. "Let the boy find it," he said. "Then we take it from his cold hands." The Starcore floated in the deep silence of space. A massive machine, shaped like a black ring, half buried in the shadow of a dying star. Liam stared at it through the ship's window, his heart heavy and his bracelet glowing brighter than ever. It didn't look like a weapon. It looked like something ancient and sleeping, waiting for someone to wake it up, waiting for him. Zelter slowed the ship as they approached the entrance port. Old lights flickered on across the surface of the Starcore. As if it could sense Liam coming closer, Ayla stood behind him, watching the boy with eyes full of conflict. She hadn't told them everything. Not yet. And deep inside her, a storm was building. They landed the ship and stepped into the Starcore. The air inside was strange, thin and cold, but breathable. The walls were made of dark silver, covered in symbols from languages lost to time. The lights came on as Liam walked, each step he took lighting a path ahead. The bracelet was now glowing so brightly it lit the entire corridor. "This place responds to you," Zelter said. "You're linked to its core systems, but what is it really?" Liam asked. "A weapon? A ship?" "Both," Ayla answered before Zelter could speak. "And more. The star core can reshape matter, create or destroy. It was made during the old wars. To stop armies with a single thought." Liam swallowed hard. "And I can control it." "If you finish the bond," Ayla said. "Yes. But that choice is yours." They reached the central chamber, a round room with a tall throne-like seat in the middle. Wires floated through the air like metal snakes, all glowing blue. They wrapped gently around the platform, waiting. Zeltor walked slowly around the room, scanning everything. But Ayla stood still, her face cold now. Her eyes darker than before. Liam turned to her. "What's wrong?" She didn't answer. Instead, she raised her arm and pressed a button hidden in her bracelet. A loud hum filled the room, and the door behind them locked tight. Zelter spun around. "What are you doing?" "I'm sorry," Ayla said, her voice calm but hard. "But I can't let you activate the star core." Liam froze. "What? Why?" "Because I made a deal," Ayla said, "years ago when Mira disappeared. I was hunted too. I was dying. Broken. And then they came to Mikrovan and his empire. They offered me life, power. A new identity. You betrayed us," Zelter growled. Stepping toward her, "I did what I had to do to survive," she snapped. "They promised peace. They told me the star core would only be used to control dangerous systems. But now I see the truth. They lied to me. They want to burn everything, then help us stop them," Liam said. Pleading, "You still can." But it was too late. Ayla stepped back as a red portal opened behind her. From it stepped Krovan, tall, armored, and smiling with cruel eyes. Behind him marched soldiers in black suits with glowing red rifles. "Thank you, Ayla," Krovan said. "You did well." Ayla looked at Liam one last time. Guilt in her eyes. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "Take the boy," Krovan ordered. "Kill the rest." The soldiers moved fast. Zelter threw a shield in front of Liam and began firing back. Blue energy blasts hit the walls, shaking the chamber. Liam ducked and ran to the center platform. He didn't know what else to do, but the bracelet pulled him forward. Calling louder than ever, Alice stood still, frozen in regret, watching the boy her sister died to protect. As the fighting grew louder, she made her choice. She turned on Krovan. Pulling a hidden blade from her suit and slashing at his side, he shouted in pain, "Traitor!" She grabbed a fallen rifle and tossed it to Zeltor. "Help him!" She yelled, "I'll hold them!" Zelter rushed toward Liam as the wires wrapped around the boy's arms and legs. The throne activated, glowing blue and white. Liam screamed as the energy surged into his body. His eyes turned fully blue, and the bracelet melted into his skin, disappearing inside him like light. "Liam!" Zelter shouted, but Liam was no longer just a boy. He floated off the platform, glowing like a star. The energy of the star core flowing through every part of him. The machines in the chamber stopped fighting him. Instead, bending around him, ready to obey. The soldiers stopped. Staring in fear, Krovan backed away, wounded and pale. "It's too soon," he whispered. He wasn't supposed to bond yet, but the bond was complete. Liam was now the living key, the master of the star core. And with a wave of his hand, the entire room shook. Weapons melted, machines shut down, and the soldiers were thrown out through the still-open portal. Screaming, only Ayla, Zeltor, and Krovan remained. Ayla fell to her knees. "I'm sorry, Mira," she whispered. "I tried to fix it." Krovan tried to crawl away. But Liam floated down in front of him, eyes cold, voice calm. "You chased me, hunted me, lied to my family. This ends now, with a thought. Liam opened the portal again and sent Crovan through, this time into deep space, never to return. Then the power faded, and Liam collapsed. Zeltor caught him just in time. Alla crawled over, tears in her eyes. "He's still alive," Zeltor said. "But only just. We have one part left," Alla whispered. "The choice." The Star Core was quiet now. The battle was over. The lights inside the ancient machine dimmed to a soft blue, and the floating wires gently lowered Liam's body to the floor. Zeltar knelt beside him, placing a hand on the boy's chest, feeling the slow, steady heartbeat beneath his skin. Alla stood nearby, her eyes full of tears, her soul heavy with guilt and love. Liam was alive, but barely. "He used too much power," Zeltor said. "His body wasn't ready, but he did it," Alla whispered. "He saved us all." For a moment, silence filled the chamber. Then the Star Core began to glow again, not bright, not loud, but calm, like a memory breathing. A warm light surrounded Liam's body, lifting his mind into something deeper, something hidden inside him all along. Liam opened his eyes, but he was no longer in the chamber. He stood in a glowing field of stars, weightless, peaceful. In front of him stood a woman with kind eyes, dark hair, and a soft smile. He knew her at once. "Mom," he whispered. Mira stepped forward and placed her hands on his shoulders. "You've done so much, Liam," she said gently. "You are stronger than I ever imagined. I miss you," he said, his voice cracking. "Why didn't you tell me everything?" "Because I wanted you to live free," she replied. "But the galaxy needed you, just like I feared it would." Liam looked down. "I don't feel strong. I feel broken," Myra smiled. "You're not broken, you're growing. Power like this hurts at first, but only because it's real." She pointed behind him, and Liam saw flashes of his journey walking through the marketplace, meeting Zeltor, escaping the blood trace, fighting inside the Star Core, and sending Crovan into the void. Each memory played like light in the stars, showing not pain, but purpose. "What do I do now?" he asked. "The power is still inside me. I can feel it." "You make a choice," Mira said. "The Star Core is yours now, but its future depends on what you decide." Then her voice grew softer. "And Liam, whatever happens next, I am proud of you." She kissed his forehead, and the vision faded. He gasped and woke up back in the chamber. Zeltor, holding him steady. "You're back," the alien said with relief. "You were gone for minutes. I saw her," Liam whispered. "She gave me a choice." Ayla stepped forward. "What choice?" "To keep the Star Core's power or return it to sleep," Liam said. "To become something more than human. Or stay myself." They waited as Liam stood up, walking slowly to the center of the chamber. The throne lit up again, waiting for his command. The bracelet on his wrist was no longer just metal, it had become part of him, a living symbol of who he was. He looked at Ayla and Zeltor. Then, up at the glowing ceiling above, "I don't want to rule," he said. "I don't want to destroy or control," he raised his hand. And the Star Core responded, "I want to protect, to guide, but not with fear." The room glowed brighter, and the Star Core pulsed gently, like a heart, with one final thought. Liam sent a command through the machine, a command to shut down all weapon systems, to lock away the dangerous power until a future where peace was stronger than war. The light faded and the chamber dimmed. The machine entered sleep once more, but not lost, just waiting, watched over by its new guardian. Liam turned back, his body glowing faintly, his eyes full of clarity. He was still human, but something in him had changed. He now carried the wisdom of something far older than himself. Zeltor placed a hand on his shoulder. "Your mother would be proud, she already told me," Liam said with a small smile. Ayla stepped forward, kneeling before him. "I failed your family," she said, "but if you'll let me." "I want to help fix things," Liam nodded. "We all made mistakes, but we're still here. That means we still have time to do better." They left the star core together. The doors closing behind them. The machine was no longer a weapon, it was a symbol. And Liam was now part of its story forever. Word of what happened spread across the galaxy. The bounty was cancelled, the blood trace disbanded, and the name Liam Solace became a legend, whispered in spaceports and told in bedtime stories. Not as a warrior, but as a boy who chose peace over power. Months later, Zeltar gave Liam a new bracelet, silver and simple, with no power, just a gift. A symbol of love, of family, of memory. He placed it on Liam's wrist and said, "This one isn't for saving the galaxy. It's just from a father to his son." Liam smiled. Looking at the stars above, "Thank you," he said. For everything, the stars blinked. The star core slept, and peace returned, at least for now.